Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with Good Morning Portugal show, the live stream, the podcast, and of course the Portugal Club, where we will go. I'm here with our Serra da Estrela backdrop for the Portuguese citizenship test question number 83, and wishing you an excellent day here in the basically in the lost space of the festive perineum between Christmas Day, well, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, if you celebrated it, and the impending New Year celebration, which everybody, I don't know about everybody, but there's general sense, isn't there? That's what we're waiting for, kind of to get that out of the way and underway for 2026. And that's what I'm wondering if you have any plans for this morning. I've got a general AI forecast on the social trends of 2026. Social trends for Portugal, according to Google's AI overview. As a conversation starter, we know how it can generally be helpful, indicative, and point us in the right direction, but it can also come up with some howling, which can be quite funny, some howling concerns or inaccuracies. The hallucinations, I think they're called, aren't they, in AI circles? So we'll take a look at that, as well as your plans. How was your Christmas? It was great to hang out with some of you on Christmas evening. T-Duck, thank you very much. Member for 34 months. Hope you had a superb birthday on the 25th as well. How was Cirque du Soleil, your annual tradition, your family tradition for going to Cirque du Soleil on Christmas Day? How was it this year? Thank you for the little clip. It certainly looked very good. And what is it about circus here in Portugal? There was a really massive circus extravaganza that seemed to go on for hours on Portuguese TV, possibly on, I don't know if I was watching that over somebody's shoulder whilst we were playing Monopoly. First time this family has really got into Monopoly, with the inevitable acrimony that comes from playing that wretched game. Very interesting. If you want to learn about people, even people close to you who you think you know, play Monopoly with them. The on-air light is on, and that's flaring a little bit with the Serra da Estrela. Thank you, Matty, for sending me this picture. And with the green screen for 2026, send me pictures that you would like to see featured, your pictures that you'd like to see featured behind me. You're very welcome to do so. 913, as ever, 590-303. That's one of the things we're keeping for 2026. There'll be one or two changes, editorial content type changes for 2026, but basically a place to meet and get together first thing on the morning to check in, make sure everyone's doing okay, and have a little bit of a look at Portugal and celebrate our mutual love and passion for the place. Talking of which, I found another fantastic place last night or yesterday afternoon for the sunset. Santa Cruz. I'd never been there. Of course, the old guy in Europe has talked from time to time about Santa Cruz. And Jose, who, if you're an Expats Portugal member and you hang out with us on a Thursday evening, you'll know Jose Cruz of Santa Cruz as well. What an amazing place. The Praia de Formosa. Sadly, I haven't been able to get the pictures organized. My son did send them to me. I left my phone in the car and asked my son if I could use his camera. And of course, then the pictures are locked on his camera. Can you send them to me? Yes, all sent to me. Went to download them this morning. Owner of photos needs to give you permission to access the picture, so you'll have to wait. But what an amazing place! That particular little beaches, and this seems to be a pattern here in Portugal. You've got the main beach in a town, and then to the north or the south, you've got another lesser known beach, which has some sort of eccentricity about it. We've got our hidden beach here in San Martino de Portugal, and when we went to Carvoeiro a week ago, was it a week ago? A little bit more than a week ago, a couple of weeks ago. There's the Praia de Paraíso, a little bit further. What would that be? A little bit further west, I think, from Carvoeiro Beach. And yesterday we found the Praia de Formosa, which is not the main beach in Santa Cruz as far as we could make out. But what a charming and fantastic place that is. So pictures to follow in due course. And any pictures you've got from your Christmas festivities popping hither and thither around Portugal, do send them in. 913-590-303. Lots of comments to check out as well. Good to see you all here this morning on the 29th of December. as we take a little bit of a glance towards 2026, and whilst we're in this middle bit, waiting for the new year to come, and all that it will bring. It's going to. I think Natasha Don, when I interviewed her on the, what was it, the 19th or 20th of December, I think she's right. It's going to be a piri year, and let's meet here in the mornings on a weekday morning to compare our plans and strategies for the incoming 2026. Right, let's go to your comments before we get started, taking a deeper dive, a deeper look into what's likely to be happening in 2026, the indicative presumptions of AI. What are the social trends of 2026 was my prompt. You may have one yourself, and there may be questions you're asking AI that you may or may not wish to share with us this morning, but that's where I started this morning. And we've got a Portugal Club question as well that's connected to the monarchy, actually. We finished before Christmas with a monarchy related question here in Portugal, and that theme continues. But before we go anywhere near any of that, let's say hello to you. Mel, bon dia to you. You were in just before 8 o'clock. Sorry I was late this morning, but yeah, getting back in the saddle had its had its challenges this morning. Let's put a ticker tape on there for you as well with an hola, bon dia, alegria. There you go. And I'll come back to your comments. Yeah, morning, Mel. Bon dia, Mel, from Pete as well. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. Bon dia, alegria a todos e feliz última segunda-feira do 2025. 2025. You don't say 2025. I think some people probably do and are trying to get away with that. But strictly speaking, when we've talked to Philomena about this before, 2025. And I need your help with more Portuguese. If I can find the little clip. I saw a hilarious, well, I think it's hilarious. An obscene Portuguese grandma in conversation with her vegan grandson at the Christmas dinner table. If I don't bring you that today, I'll bring you that tomorrow. I'm looking for some help with the punchline. I was basically getting the gist of it. She's saying to him, "Would you like a little bit of bacalhau?" "No, Grandma, I'm a vegan. I don't eat bacalhau." "What about a bocadinho of something else? A sausage?" "No, I don't eat that." "What about some cheese?" "I've got some I think she said, "I've got some Serra da Estrela cheese. Would you like some?" He said, "No, it's got cheese in it." That's the cheese. And then she gives him a brilliant punchline. And then at the end of the video, I think she might be a bit of a comedic celebrity here in Portugal. She says, if you don't like this sort of humor, you can go yourself, basically. I want to try and find that for you. Are we sounding okay this morning? I think we are, aren't we? We're on the Streamer X setting, and I think the cameras are okay too. Yes, we haven't reverted to the laptop camera. Everything seems to be okay, holding together this morning. Really did, says Mel. Hope you did too. That's having a nice Christmas. And yes, our collective best wishes for Matty, who we hope is feeling better as well. Thanks for the picky this morning. And Pete polished off his Christmas dinner. It was like a speed eating competition, but that was just a special friend. Glad you had a great one. Is he being filthy there already? Bon dia, Gumpers. What's that? Bon dia, Gumpers. Morning, Mike and the Bartons. And yes, did you see my message in the chat just saying I'd be a couple of minutes? I had to get the intro video. I forgot, just as I went to go live, I realized I'd forgotten to create my intro video. Different every morning. And of course, this morning featuring our little look forward to 2026. And that's what we'll be doing actually for the next few mornings. What have we got? We've got this morning, the 29th of December, tomorrow, the 30th, finally on Wednesday, the 31st, New Year's Eve. And then Thursday will be the first day of the year where a lot of places will be closed and the Portuguese culture will be taking a little break and a holiday before coming back to a Friday the 2nd and then a weekend and then straight into the weekend. Interesting timing, I think. And then normal programming, the first Monday of the month will be the 5th of December. So we'll be there then as well. Bon dia, alegria, Gumpers from T-Duck. And not much, but I moved my workplace from the tech room, currently 7 degrees, to my bedroom, currently, and he's neglected to say it's probably 8 degrees, isn't it? That 1 degree can make a big difference. That'll help. Yep, good idea, definitely there. Matty. Be kind to yourself. I've been looking at sacral chakra healing, which I think is a lot to do with these. Um, how do I begin to talk about sacral chakra healing on a Is it yeah, on a Monday morning, on a strange Monday morning in the middle of the festive period? Um, what I want to say to you, Matt, is be kind and nice to yourself, which I think has some sort of connection to the sacral chakra. So, Matty, yeah, be kind to yourself. Keep warm. Look after yourself. There's no need to be too harsh on yourself, which is probably just a little bit of programming rooted in your sacral chakra. I hope that doesn't sound like too much woo-woo nonsense. I dare say it does. I dare say it does to some. Shouldn't that poster say 8:05 to 9-ish? Yes, Peter, it should. But this is Portugal, remember? Stop being so darn British. Thanks again for the turkey leg. Is that a sexual euphemism or was it actually Christmas dinner? I don't know. When it comes to pee, I just don't know. It was a bit, ooh, yeah, fancy a turkey leg, not half. It was a bit get your kit off. It's time for a turkey leg. It was a bit chilly in Lisbon yesterday, but I was able to sit out on the patio in short sleeves for a couple of hours, endurance test, and soak up some sunshine. Yeah, there was occasional sunshine. My daughter, we were driving along in a car yesterday, and my daughter said, "Is it me or has the world suddenly gone dark?" I was like, "Oh my God, she's inherited my existential and philosophical disposition." No, it's just the sun gone behind the clouds. In fact, the Portuguese, it came to my attention via the Portuguese that he was talking about yesterday about the upcoming. That's one of the things to look forward to, actually, or look up at, but not directly, everybody, for 2026. There's going to be a solar eclipse, I believe, in August of 2026. And he tells this great anecdote. Should I be a spoiler at the moment? It's the punchline is delivered at 4 minutes 20 in his video. Comedic genius from the Portuguese, and his story about a solar eclipse, which is very personal. Him and his mate, as it turned out, it was a very personal eclipse, and it was definitely something for the X Files. Anyway, check it out, as he would say. It was a pleasure, Matty. We even got to see it again on Cindy. What on earth is going on in central Portugal? Weirdos. Should be nice again today. Well, I hope so. I hope we're due a nice sunny day, aren't we? All those things that have needed drying for the last 2 weeks. My lawn has been declared a site of special scientific interest. I keep meaning to trim my lawn. No, not a euphemism, Peter. Literally meaning to trim my overgrown lawn. And the cats love playing in it. It's that high now. And I think, okay, great, a couple of hours of sunshine, then it pees down again. I have been thwarted on many occasions. Welcome to the welcome to the mundanity of Munson's lawn here on a Monday morning on the Good Morning Portugal show. Cirque was amazing as always. Review about Cirque du Soleil then from Tito. We're seeing a different show next month in Sevilla. Great, big fans there. Loyalty card, I wonder. 11th show free. Good morning, everyone from Gemini. How you doing, Gemini? Did you have a good Christmas? I try to keep private movements private and not put everything on my channel. And yeah, unlike the Portuguese, right? I didn't realize you were going yesterday. I was there to see the ballet. Could have met you in person. I'm outside of this thread. I don't know what's going on now. We are always anonymous on Cindy's channel, which is nice. And Henry and Nina, good morning to you. Our first Portuguese Christmas. How was that? It's been wonderful. Full of community and laughter. Off to the Algarve today to spend New Year's Eve with friends. How lovely. Hitting the ground running and celebrating like true Portuguese New Year's Eve party with friends. That sounds great. Don't forget your 12 raisins. It could be grapes, it could be raisins, but that's the local tradition, the national tradition, is to eat your 12 raisins as the clock strikes 12, I believe, and then see in the new year with those New Year wishes. We're in Lisbon every day. We saw Cirque on Christmas Day. That's quite amazing, isn't it? I wonder if the Cirque du Soleil crew have a great Christmas dinner after their evening show. You don't want to be having had a massive turkey roast before you start chucking each other about on the high trapeze, do you? On the high wire. Which region are you living in here? So some interrogation going on in the chat. Where did you see the ballet? We're going to the Symphony tomorrow night. That'll be a bit of Gulbenkian, I suspect, won't it? Teatro Camões, they perform there every 6 to 8 weeks. The National Ballet Company of Portugal. How about that? Good morning. By the way, that backdrop pic I made in Fundão, close to the campsite there, where the MC also has its annual, the Motorbike Club has its annual concentration. Yeah, there are a lot of bikers out, weren't they, over these last couple of days? Both the bicycles and the motorbikes out in force over the weekend. Well, it feels like one long weekend, basically, over this period, over this festive period. Right by the Oceanarium. Yes, that's the Teatro Camões, isn't it? Bon dia, everyone. Morning, Gary. How you doing? Good to see you here. I hope you heard my thanks to you on the big acknowledgement. I managed, I think, to thank everybody who I wanted to thank on the impromptu Christmas evening show. If you did watch, if you're hoping to be thanked and you watched it all the way through and you weren't, drop me a line and I'll record you a voice note thanking you. But I think I got everyone. 913-590-303 is the number to send any further pictures like Matty's and any messages. If you want to send me a voice note, do that on that number as well. No, Carl, because the chat was not available until 8. No, hold on a minute. People are able to chat before the show starts, aren't they? I think you can comment. People comment hours before the show sometimes. Maybe it depends which platform you're on or how you're using YouTube. I'm not sure there, Matty, what you mean. Mel, as Moscow and St. Petersburg are a little tricky to get to, can we suggest seeing the ballet in Prague? Beautiful theatres and embarrassingly modest price structure. From Peter there. Hola, bon dia, alegria to you, Margarita. Mwah, mwah. Margarita there from Palmeira Cafe. Have a lovely time. I heard you're going to Madeira for a couple of days before we really get into the new year at Palmeira and your beautiful hospitality over there. So glad to see you there and glad to hear you having a nice little break in Madeira as well. So have a lovely time over there. Bon viager. And we'll see you on your return. Bon dia to you. Love to Nelson. Portuguese constitutional monarchy fell in 1910. That is the right answer. Despite having a very good, highly conscientious young king, he was only 20 on the throne. Chaos ensued through to dictatorship in 1926. And only careful what you wish for, right? Get rid of the royals, and then ended up with 50 years pretty much of dictatorship instead. Isn't that interesting? It's still an experiment humanity is toying with, isn't it? Do we go with, who do you want? Do you want Prince Charles or do you want Donald Trump? As archetypes of those art forms. Stick them all in the bin, as far as I'm concerned. No, Carl. Bedroom is 21 degrees. Good man. Typed on number pad with number lock off. Yes. Why? Here's a question for you. Why bother to have number lock? What's the point of that? If you've got numbers on your keypad, why would you want to disable them ever? I can't see a use case for that, as you techies say. All are lovely, but my son performs in the CNB. What's that one then? So I am a bit incentivized to go locally. That's the National Ballet. But I don't know what is it the Camões National Ballet? Good morning, Hugh. How are you doing? I hope your recovery. I hope you're getting massaged in all the right places, Hugh. And it sounds like you've got some sacral chakra healing to do, literally, with your double hip replacement, your hip hopper, you. Good morning from a frosty Treschriush. Are you being looked after well? I suspect you have. You got more workaways in to attend to your every need, I wonder. I hope the recovery is happening well and rapidly for you there, Hugh. You be careful. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest if you can. I know you're a very busy bloke, and I imagine having to sit still is unbearable for you, Hugh. Imagine you're barking out a few orders to those around you whilst you are struggling to move. Or are you? I really don't know how long the recovery time takes on a modern hip operation. That must have been wonderful. I know my mum enjoyed my short opera career. Seriously, Peter? Okay, there must be some. Is this leading up to a punchline? I wonder. Like I won Choir Boy of the Year, but he was an annoying little sod, so I had to send him back. Chris is here as well this morning. Capricorn Chris, how you doing? Do we have a chronicle? I think you're having a lovely time in the Algarve, basically. The memories, the smells, the sights, the sounds, and the smells of London transport are of distant memory for you, thank goodness. And just so everybody knows, they're in Central. Was that Matty or Mel who was asking there? When they perform at the Azul de Palace, I bet that's wonderful. And Teatro São Carlos, that's also very pretty. That's the national ballet here of Portugal, I think. Let's connect. I am near Óbidos. It was Mel who was asking. Drove past Óbidos last night. My kids are in the back of the car. I'm saying, look at that. It's a castle with pretty lights on it. It's their normal life, the lucky buggers. It's from the A8 motorway. Óbidos Castle is so beautiful. I wouldn't want their electricity bill. Maybe that's why they charge so much for every darn thing they put on there these days. Hope you had a lovely one. Carl, we had Matty and Cindy over. Okay. Would have invited you, but as this morning proves, it's taking longer and longer to wash your face. Yes, it's true. How wonderful. Mums are good for that. I first came to the EU to see my son at the London Opera House in Turandot. Wow, how amazing. Yeah, what a lovely thing, Mel, for you. I was in Taverner and Boris Godunov at the Royal Opera House. The basements were amazing. Peter, how about everyone else share something that we didn't know about you? We think we know each other, don't we, here in our lovely little community? And there's a surprise. We've known Peter for a few years now, and who knew he used to be an opera singer? Sounds like a short career in opera. What happened, Pete? Was it something to do with the basements of the Royal Opera House? Tell us something about yourself. Everyone here this morning, tell us something about yourself, like that admission from Peter there, that we might not already know. 3 nipples, that sort of thing. Or you were in the Royal Opera. Our tradition is to eat greens. Oh, greens and black-eyed peas on New Year's Day for good luck. It seems to work. Yeah, keep the windows open. For that. Chakra is an energy point, it would seem. This is tempo Portuguese, not English. Okay, Adrian. Chakras, yes, it's a way of understanding the energy systems of the body that isn't really part of the Western mindset. It's more of an Eastern thing. The chakra system, as of course meridians and pressure points and the understanding of chi energy that we talk about with Jeremy, Qigong, for example, or Tai Chi. Don't really have that in the West, do we? We're much more mechanical than that. Energy system in your pelvis. What? Yes, my comment was before 8. You see, Matty, you can comment. Yes. Usually, yes, the chat is available before the show, but not today on YouTube for me. Okay. You can normally chat before the show. Some browsers mess us about, though, don't they just? No number lock on my keyboard. And the CNB or CNB would be the Campaña Nacional de Bailado. Bailado, then, being a bit of vocab for you there. Bailado is ballet in Portuguese. Very good. Because the numbers have a double function like cursor movements. Okay. But much more useful to be numbers. I've made that mistake as well. It's annoying, isn't it? When you think you're typing in numbers and nothing's happening, as happened to you. Okay, I'm not reading that, Pete. Number lock, super important, especially for those using the numerical section for fast data entry while needing other functions. Okay, fair enough. I knew there would be a good reason. I just didn't know what it was. Bon dia to you, Sarah, and Team Yerman. How are you? How was your Christmas? Okay, I'm not reading that either, Matty. Let's go over to the Portugal Club, where the Portugal Club Pixies have been very busy. Antonio F. and Kate Bygrave, as it turns out. And we'll have a little bit of time, I think, to look at social trends for Portugal in 2026 as well. And you can give your own opinions and judgments about this in due course. But first of all, let's take a look at Portuguese citizenship test question 83, everybody. Woohoo! It's an odd number to be starting on a Monday. Normally, we're on the round numbers, aren't we? Or the 5s. Because of Christmas, we are starting the week with Portuguese citizenship test question 83. Those of you who are good at maths, what day will it be when we ask question 100? Remembering, of course, that we don't do this at the weekends. So we've got 17 to go. And we only do them on the weekdays. What day will the Portuguese citizenship test climax? 83 then. Who was the Portuguese king during the 1755 Lisbon earthquake? StreamYard, could you clip that, please? Apparently this is an AI prompt now. And if you say clip that, StreamYard, when it does its AI clips, will find it. Let's see if this works, shall we? And I'll tell you tomorrow. Was it A, Jose Primero? Was it João Cinco? Or would that be Quinta? João Quinta? Or was it Manuel Segunda? Who was the Portuguese king during the 1755 Lisbon earthquake? Was it José Primero? Was it João Cinco? Or was it C, Manuel Segunda? I think it's I think it's A. I don't know. Oh, Kate's here as well already, and she's voted for João. Is it too late for me to change? I'm gonna bow to that peer group pressure and copy Kate, because I think she might know the answer to that. Now, talking of Kate Bygrave, fantastic memory. After Yule Tide, she's got, what's this then? What is this that we have on our screen here? We've got Edward Munch's Scream, have we not? But what is that? Oh, I see. Yes, it's the Screamer is on the weighing scales there. I think I've lost weight over Christmas. I ate well, but I didn't eat a lot, I don't think. So not so much for me, but thank you for that, Kate. One of your many and wonderful contributions to the Portugal Club over the Christmas period. And a latest in Antonio Ferreira's music festivals. I've got a few things to add here. China Crisis are coming to Portugal, I noticed as well. So China Crisis on tour, if you like them. What was the big China Crisis hit for that band? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think they're a bunch of Scousers, aren't they? Who were popular in the 80s in the UK. China Crisis on the way to Portugal this year. Lots of other great bands. David Byrne, of course, is coming to Portugal this year. Jethro Tull. Great bands planned. What's this? Here's a list then from Antonio Ferreira of free music shows. I'm going to copy the link and stick it in the chat. That will happen in New Year's Eve all over Portugal. Fantastic. Lisboa, Cascais, Porto. We've got the Açores, the Algarve, Portimão, Aveiro, Braga, Bragança. Who won the match last night? Bragança and Benfica. I watched a bit of that. Sat outside a cafe in Santa Cruz last night. Castelo Branco, Coimbra, Évora, Guarda, Leiria, Porto Alegre, Santarém, Setúbal, Stubes, Villarreal, and Vezio. Music for everyone, it would seem, then across the country. That link is going in the chat. Was I right first time, Adrian? I wonder. The Cure guitarist just died. What a shame. I didn't know about that. And of course, we lost Chris Rea, didn't we? Not driving home this Christmas for Chris Rea. Bless him. Lost Chris Rea just before Christmas as well. Right. Yeah. Smash that like button and revel in all that free music that Antonio F has shared with us over at the Portugal Club. And this ultra processed food. Do you know what? I clipped that. See what I did there? I clipped this or I put it to one side to share with you. Somebody mentioned this, didn't they, just recently on one of the many live streams that I'm involved in. But this is the percentage of processed food. Is this in the supermarket, the shopping bag? Oh, by the ultra processed food as a percentage of household food purchases by country. So that's what the Portuguese. That's what constitutes processed food in the purchases of the Portuguese. A tenth of the diet is processed, compared, for example, to the UK's half, 50.7. Danger in red. Ireland not doing so well either with the amount of processed food. Probably some of the busiest cultures, isn't it? People who work all the time and say they don't have time to cook. Possibly most people in the household working. Here in Portugal, preserving the fact that 90% is non-processed and perhaps largely home cooked as well. If not by someone directly in the house, then someone in the family somewhere. Very good. Well done, Portugal, on that. There was a very excellent meme here from Kate as well. This is a cracker. Look at this one, T-Duck. Angel, this is somebody entering the pearly gates, concerned about their meme output. Rather good, this one, Kate. I've not seen this before. Angel, tell me, did I waste my life posting memes? Thousands of people read your memes. Is it St. Peter? It isn't it, on the pearly gates, isn't it? You wasted the lives of thousands of people. And somebody, head in hands, bottom right of that picture. Tell me, did I waste my life posting memes? Thousands of people read your memes. You wasted the lives of thousands of people. That is what's happening. That is wagwan at the moment, is it not? In our world. So thank you very much for that, Kate. Now, there was something else here. Oh, dear, yes. The real translation that was on Facebook Marketplace a while ago. Thank you for this. I can't read that out. Take a quick look and you can see for yourself. I mean, I guess I can ask the question: what is a dick basket? And how do we get to that from the original Portuguese, I wonder? Look, so many wonderful memes. Kate, I think what we're gonna have to do is arrange this so that you put them in a thread so that we don't lose them. It's the best way to manage information on the Portugal Club. Let's give you, just like we've got Antonio F's crime file and Portuguese sayings of the day. Let's get you with your very own Bygraves banter, we'll call it, shall we? Bygraves banter. Let's give you your own thread, and you can update them so where we can find them all in one place. If you would do that for us, that would be awesome. And I found a video yesterday. Portugal's high-speed rail revolution has begun. This was a.
When it comes to high-speed rail, Portugal is not usually the first country that comes to mind. Unlike its larger European neighbors, Portugal has long relied on upgraded conventional lines and the tilting alpha pendular.
Who doesn't like a tilting AP first thing in the morning? There you go. I like the APs. They are a bit outdated and old-fashioned, apparently. And there is a video with a Russian, possibly a Russian narrator. He of Railways Explained or similar is the name of that YouTube channel. And it's really good, actually. It's 15 minutes of explanation of where we're at with our railways. And, of course, the somewhat cynical response from Antonio F. Well, we'll see about that. Kate found it informative. And, yes, we've watched the section from Evra East grow rapidly. There are many kilometers of completed works already. Yeah, even here in San Martino, we're getting an upgrade. We've got an electric line. It's a single line, but it's going electric soon. So there are things happening on the Portuguese railways, and it's been a long time since I've caught a Portuguese train. I must do that. I'll make that a resolution. Into Caldas from San Martino in about 12 minutes, I think. It's an amazing service. I think that's everything from over at the Portugal Club, including our Portuguese citizenship test question 83 of today. Here, this was something important before we leave the Portugal Club. Thank you to Antonio F for this. Latest comment in the thread. I'm a support group thread. Who has renewal hacks or info to share? We're all about the fun facts and hacks over at the Portugal Club. This from Antonio F. From Publico newspaper. IMA advises immigrants carry proof of residence renewal in your pocket. So, I mean, you presumably know this by now, that in Portugal, you're meant to carry some identification anyway. This would be your ID, effectively, wouldn't it? Foreign citizens who have already started the application for residence permit through the renewals portal must carry their expired permit, as well as the receipt proving that the renewal application has been made and is being processed. So there you go, an update there. IMA, for best practice. IMA also warns that they will soon start to summon immigrants whose residency permits expire in January and February of 2026. Sounds much more frightening than it is. I mean, you're going to get an appointment. So instead of having to arrange one, it sounds like they're summoning you to an appointment. Should we reframe that as an invitation rather than a summons? It's terrible, isn't it? It's sort of legalistic language, which is designed, of course, to put fear into the hearts of ordinary human beings. Let's call that an invitation. You're likely to get an invitation from IMA if your residency permit is going to expire in January and February. So this sounds like they're getting a bit more proactive. And IMA warns that permits expired by the 30th of June are valid until the 15th of April. So there's a link for that as well. Let me put that into the chat so that you can find that easily among all the needles in the haystack that is the Portugal Club. So that I'm popping that in there. Thanks, Antonio, for that. Very thoughtful of you. Nothing you need to worry about, of course, Antonio. Thinking of the Portugal Club Gumpers there. Thanks. Adrian's guest there was A on the Portuguese citizenship test question. Thank you very much for that. China Crasers were formed in Kirby in Liverpool. I rarely post memes. I just forward them to... let me take the blame. I don't do corporate social media. Well, fair enough. I'm happy to post them here or pass them on to Kate now for a bit of Bygraves banter. My resolution, visit Carlito more often. Yes, Frank, good to see you this morning, and you must do that. Be lovely to see you. And your lovely lady here in San Martino again soon. Please do come back. It would be great to see you. And welcome, I would also like to say to Miguel and Vanessa, it was my pleasure to show you around the neighborhood on Saturday. Great fun. It was really, really lovely to meet with you. I was taking a photograph of the meeting point, and I turned around, and there they were, which was a sign of great things to come and the ease and joy of the day, showing Miguel and Vanessa around town and welcoming them officially to Portugal. I suspect you'll be hearing more, certainly from Miguel on the show, our high flow CEO. He'll be joining us more when he's settled in and settled down here in Portugal and overcome the jet lag and all the arrival sort of stuff. Remember that? If you're a seasoned foreigner here and you've been here for a little while, do you remember what it was like to arrive here? It's a real mixture, isn't it? All the sort of starry-eyedness and the excitement. But of course, your body needs to, all your chakras need to get realigned on arrival as well. And your etheric body needs to catch up with you. So it's quite something, I think. Take my hat off to anyone who's arriving here in Portugal, especially from who hasn't driven here or walked here, or got the bus or whatever. You know, when you sold all your stuff, got rid of all your stuff, and you've concluded on decades of life elsewhere, and you come to Portugal, be easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself in those. I know you want to hit the ground running. I know you want to get stuff. You want to start eating them pastel de natas and having a G&T at 7 every evening, or whatever it is you imagine yourself to be doing. But there's all the bits you don't quite foresee. Actually, and that's what I'm going to be writing about for Expats Portugal, the things you can't possibly know before arriving. That will be my first blog for my new Expats Portugal bi-weekly blog over there. So check it out soon. And for the Portugal resident, this week's column, I think it'll be published only online, but the United Nations of Portugal. And we'll be doing more to reach out to the various nations, over 190 nations represented here in Portugal. I want to get more of them on the show. And of course, we speak to Brits and Americans. Who else do we have? We have notable Canadians in our midst. But we're very poorly represented when it comes to the other nationalities. Aleem is from Pakistan, of course, we've spoken to him, but not about what it is, what's the special connection between Pakistan and Portugal, and what it is Pakistanis find when they come to Portugal. Please, if you can, connect me to people of other nationalities, and we'll get them on the show and we'll chat to them. Oh, and I got Meet the Tugas. I bought that for myself. That's a good book. I'm enjoying that, in case you're looking for some Portugal-related reading. Are you back, Andy? Hola, bon dia, Malta, from a bright, sunny but chilly Bournemouth. Over there, still in Blighty. Good morning to you, mate. Hope you're having a great time over there. We were in a... oh, gosh. Excuse me. Got a hot cup of tea, or a formerly hot cup of tea. Let me have a sip of this. I'm going to save that and put some hot water on it after the show. Nasty habit, I know, but that's going to bring that back to life. That cup of tea is officially on life support at the moment, and he's reviving. CPR from the kettle. A bright, sunny but chilly Bournemouth. Santa Cruz. Mrs. M thought it was a lot like Bournemouth, and so did I yesterday. It's quite a UK seaside experience at Santa Cruz, especially that Praia de Formosa. Morning to you, Bob and Viv. Bon dia todos. Great to see you both. Americans there, of course, and Jimmy White, American. What about all the other nationalities? And, you know, of the 190 plus nationalities represented in Portugal, some of them will be tiny communities. But we never speak to anyone from Brazil here. Have we ever spoken to anyone from Brazil? Miguel, originally from Brazil, but lived in America. I want to speak to people from all of the communities that form the 1 in 10 foreigners here in Portugal. So if you know somebody who might want to speak to us about their community, their culture on the Good Morning Portugal show, do send me their details or introduce me to them. I'd be very grateful to you for that. About goals for 2026, being on markets more often, promoting the pain therapy and getting better at Portuguese so I can start a weekly group lesson in September. Yeah, I had a bit of an idea. We do wine tasting and karaoke. I think we need to do wine tasting and Portuguese together as well. I think that's a very good combination, actually. Everyone knows that they're better after a glass of wine at speaking Portuguese. It's a superpower, is it not? Bon dia todos from Jim. How you doing, Jim? Good to see you here this morning. Not hearing as much European Portuguese out and about this year, but much more Brazilian Portuguese. We have an Aussie. Aussie. We have a notable Aussie, of course, as well. So there we go. We've definitely got Brits, Americans. I was going to say Yanks. Can I just ask something of the Americans here? Do you mind being called a Yank, or do you find it's, when I first heard the term Tuga, I thought we shouldn't call Portuguese people Tugas, but they call themselves Tugas. Do Americans ever refer to themselves as Yanks, or is it somewhat derisive from a British point of view? I wonder. Phone vibrating. It's okay. It's not a call. It's not a telemarketer at this time of the morning. They wait, don't they? They wait a little while before they start warming your phone up. Yeah, so there we go. Brits, Americans, and Aussies. Did I miss anybody? But I mean, let's face it, that's pretty frank Canadian. With, like me, with interesting ethnic origin as well behind the scenes of the obvious nationality or the passport, really. But we are very poorly represented, aren't we? Just scrolling through the comments here. When it comes to a diversity of nationalities. So let's connect with more people, find out about them, what their creature comforts are from home, and what it is they love about Portugal. Please introduce me to more other nationalities around the world. Clip that, StreamYard, the invitation to nationalities from around the planet who are making their home in Portugal. Let's get them on the Good Morning Portugal show and chat with them this year as we go into 2026. And then, talking of which, let's have a look, shall we now, at this social trends for 2026 as prompted by me to Google. So the prompt was, what are the social trends for Portugal in 2026? And I'll go through these. Let's if you hear a hallucination here, or you think Google is just making stuff up to be a people pleaser, hit the buzzer, let me know. I think some of this is pretty much on the money, but there might be things that have been missed. This of course is from the data available to the AI. And of course, we are differently intelligent to artificial intelligence. And there will be things that you're going to tell me this morning in this team effort, looking forward to 2026, of what the new year might bring. So the AI overview then for social trends in Portugal for 2026 are heavily influenced by demographic aging, a persistent housing crisis, check. Increasing digital integration, check. I think that's a big reference to AI making a reference to itself. And an expanding tourism sector that impacts regional development. Now, I need to blow my nose at this point, which is not terribly professional, but I don't want to do it whilst you're watching and listening. So I'm going to... What video clip? Oh, here we go. The presidential elections, of course. That's something that's coming up in 2026. While I blow my hooter, as it were, watch this. Blow your hooter means something else, doesn't it, in America? I mean blow my nose.
Querem vinho na torneira? Vote no Vieira.
Vote for Vieira. Did you catch any of that, me blowing my nose? I hope not. Vote for Vieira. He's one of the presidential candidates. He always is, apparently. And one of his policies is to have wine coming through the faucets of Portuguese homes. I mean, why he isn't already the president, it beggars belief, does it not, with policies like that? And a free Lamborghini for everyone. And free sex, I think, was one of his platform proposals as well. Okay. Haven't we got enough problems already without introducing policies as attractive as they sound, as awkward as they will be when they land in real life? So we've got, going back to the social trends then, demographic aging, housing crisis, digital integration, and an expanding tourism sector. I mean, if you had to guess which country is this with those four components, you would probably guess Portugal, would you not? We have going to the first, demographic aging and labor shortages. Portugal has one of Europe's oldest populations. We know this, don't we? And the share of people over 65 is expected to rise significantly. This leads to a tightening labor supply, and a growing demand for healthcare and social care workers. Immigration has become vital to filling those labor gaps. Okay, so that's the aging part and the labor shortage that goes with that particular demographic trend there of, the population generally becoming older and the youngsters leaving the country. We'll come to that in just a moment. Housing crisis and urban migration. The housing crisis, marked by rising sale and rental prices, continues to be a serious social problem, particularly in the Lisbon, Porto and Algarve areas. When I was doing my research, incidentally, we know that 60% of people of the population here in Portugal live in Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve and the coast, basically. 61 61% of foreigners also live in those areas, interestingly. There's still a lot of capacity in the interior, I think. I love the work that Paul Rees is doing, and I think far from being a dying phenomenon of central Portugal and the places that are not so well inhabited, this could be with some innovative thinking. Central could just be, or the interior generally could be such a bonus to Portuguese quality of life if we were to have some policies, or if people in their own right, individuals, can get their heads around moving into the countryside, as some of you have done here, and see the beauty of it, work online or be retired out there. We're missing a trick, aren't we? And there is too great a focus, I think, on the 60%, as it were. 2/3 of what's going on is a globalized phenomenon here in Portugal when it comes to migration and to housing. Anyway, as a result, middle-class citizens and young people are moving to more affordable suburbs like Aires and Almada, or leaving the country altogether. Almada, Bobby O'Reilly saw this, didn't he? That trend there. Increased digital integration, internet use, and social media engagement are high, with platforms like WhatsApp, Instagram, and TikTok being widely adopted. Apparently, talking of corporate social media, as you were, Tito, consumers are more digital, demanding, and seek personalized and convenient omni-channel shopping experiences, whatever they are. AI-powered personalization and video content, Reels, TikTok, are prominent in the digital landscape. They're horrible, aren't they? I mean, that's where most of my views are coming from on YouTube, with shorts. YouTube loves shorts. TikTok is shorts. Reels are shorts, aren't they? It's just like, where does it go? Where is that going? The short attention span thing, the constant drip feed of engaging content. We're going to tire of it eventually, surely. Don't call me Shirley. Brain drain and wage concerns. Despite low unemployment rates, around 6% here in Portugal, apparently, wages in Portugal remain modest by EU standards. Modest is an understatement, is it not? But we've heard about this vicious cycle of minimum wage and the pressure on employers and so on. But anyway, this disparity contributes to a persistent brain drain of skilled professionals, doctors, engineers, IT specialists, who seek higher paying opportunities abroad. It's totally understandable, isn't it? But that is another area, isn't it, where Portugal hopefully can encourage the youngsters to stay in their own country. It's not like doctors aren't needed here, or professionals, skilled professionals. They are needed here, but it's not the native population that seem to be providing those or filling those jobs when they go elsewhere for bigger wages. And who can blame them? It's a cultural, hardwired thing almost. But it needs to change, I think, for the benefit of the country. How it changes, that's for continued discussion. Will 2026 be the year when that trend changes or is disrupted? There is an ongoing debate about the need to increase productivity and wages to retain talent. Of course, there is. Tourism's dominant role then here in Portugal, that's going to continue, isn't it? And I think in many ways, if I'm right about my predictions, that Europe will become one great big leisure park for the rest of the world, as Europe finds its place, the Anglo-American European empire, as it were, finds its new place in the world order. We will become increasingly part of the past, and we can continue to trade on that. I think the rest of the world will want to come to Europe for tourism, if nothing else. And we could own that, could we not? Portugal has, and the rest of Europe might learn something from Portugal as a result. Who knows, though? The economy and employment continue to rely heavily on the tourism sector, and creating opportunities for not only creating opportunities, but also seasonal volatility and wage constraints. Yeah, not the highest wages, are they, at the business end of tourism? There are people making a lot of money. It's not the people necessarily at the front end of that, right? Social trends in travel include a move towards astrotourism. That's Mrs. M with her astrology residentials, possibly. I think what that refers to actually is the astronomy-based tourism, and of course the eclipse that's going to happen will boost that. It's going to be visible from the Iberian Peninsula, probably further north than where I am, and the Algarve. I think northern Portugal and Spain will be a good vantage point for the eclipse, the solar eclipse of August of 2026, and might contribute to astrotourism, which apparently is a thing. Nostalgic travel, aka Europe, and a desire for more authentic community-based cultural experiences that avoid overcrowded hotspots. Well, I can help you with that. Come to the Silver Coast. That will relieve the pressure on the Algarve, and we will be developing our Vitality vacation idea here, off season here in San Martino de Porto. What a beautiful place to come. But yeah, I completely agree with this. Community-based cultural experiences that avoid overcrowded hotspots. That's not difficult to do. Drive on any Portuguese motorway and you'll see that you can become undercrowded quite soon and be heading to some beautiful place where you're thinking, why isn't this place swamped with tourists? This is fantastic. In any other country, this would be absolutely rammed. But we have a different approach. We have a different population density, and we have amazing attractions that don't require that they are constantly full. So these sorts of things, I think, will be on the agenda within Portugal's tourism strategy, official and unofficial, organic and planned. Sustainability and ethical concerns. There's a growing awareness of sustainability and ethical considerations among consumers and travelers. Is there? However, price often remains a top priority in purchasing decisions. Yeah. Optimism for the future then in social trends for Portugal in 2026. Despite ongoing challenges, a majority of Portuguese citizens are optimistic. We did see that, didn't we? Or did I not get around to it? This Portuguese survey that has Portuguese people are generally optimistic, which is lovely to see. In the midst of saudade, they are generally optimistic. It'll be a better year, they think, citing political stability and positive economic indicators. Well, those things have been good. You know, the Economist magazine's gong for best economy of the year 2025. We got that. We were part of the Iberian miracle economically. I mean, try telling that to people, of course, who are struggling at the sharp end of the economy. But we get the general point with that, and we like the optimism. I think the political stability is coming because you can't have any more elections. We've had them all. 3 in this year and 1 to come in 2026 at the beginning, the presidential, of course. So perhaps, yes, that perfect storm, I don't think it could have been arranged, but what's lining up, is creating optimism for the future here in Portugal. And certainly we intend to be a powerhouse of that among us foreigners here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Overall then, I didn't click the deeper dive or the dive deeper in AI mode. This is the last paragraph of the superficial research then. Overall, Portugal is navigating the balance between economic recovery and addressing deep-seated social issues such as demographic shifts and wage stagnation, while embracing digital transformation and evolving consumer behaviors. And it's doing that, of course, in an incredible geopolitical landscape of turbulence and turmoil. And I think we're in a pretty good backwater here. And I don't mean that in a disparaging or negative way. I think we're very lucky to be here for everything that I've just talked about. Right, where did we get to in the chat? Last few comments then, before we conclude this morning, coming up to 9 o'clock here on the 29th of December, as we go step by step, baby steps towards another new year, 2026. It's in the post, folks, not long now. We got to eating greens and black-eyed peas on New Year's Day. There must be a soundtrack for that as well. We talked about chakras. We talked about the Campaña Nacional de Balaido as well. We didn't talk about Prince Andrew and Donald Trump this morning, although Pete tried to lure us into that, the rascal. We talked about memes. We talked about Frank coming to San Martino more often, which I heartily encourage as well. Matty's goals for 2026. Yeah, okay, this is where we got to. Yanks are Northerners, apparently, then. So Yanks are North Americans or the northern part of the United States, perhaps. I'm from Georgia. Yanks isn't offensive, but not terribly descriptive for us. Okay, so the northern United States for Yanks. And isn't it this Courtney rhyming slang is Sherman tanks. Why Yanks though? What is the origin of that? I wonder. So no problem. Call me whatever you want, but make sure you call me for dinner. Is that what Antonio F says? Sticks and stones. I've always considered Yanks to be from the New England area. Okay, and Hooters means something different. What does it mean? I wonder. I know. Don't have to answer that on. I do know. And you have bars of the same name, do you not? As well. I also have. That's what it says on the T-shirt. Free Lamborghini. I'll take a Lambo tractor. Yes, well, that's what he wants to give. Vieira wants to give free Lamborghinis, I think, or is it Ferraris? He wants to give nice cars to everybody. During the Civil War, Confederate soldiers called the Union soldiers Yanks. Okay, thank you for that. Please send them to Lisbon, Porto, Algarve on the coast. I moved here because it was sparsely inhabited. No need to change that for me. Yeah, okay. People are increasingly asking me to be quiet about what's good and where's good in Portugal. And I can understand that. I'm a dual Canadian and British citizen, says Adrian. How many dual and multiple nationals are there out there? I came across a Serbian prayer for those of mixed origin because of difficulties. News to the Serbian bishop. Very good. I will be German and Portuguese. So we have German Matty as well. I watched a performance from the Scala Ballet many moons ago, says Mr. S. How are you, mate? Tudo bem? And I am dual Aussie UK, applied for Portuguese as well, of course. I will never become a Portuguese citizen. I have denied the right to do so. You've done that for yourself, have you? I'm hoping I won't be rejected, however, says Mel. And Yankees, of course. Yankees, short for Yankees, isn't it? Are people we make bad jokes about. Last Monday in 2025. Thank you to you, Paul. And what a lovely picture. I wonder if I can find that somewhat hastily before the show's out today. That was a lovely photo of you on Facebook drinking your annual bottle of champagne on the beach. Really, I've got it here. I've got it. Was that rosé champagne? Honestly, what's happened to you, man? Not judging, no. That might be. Susan may prefer, of course, the pink. Is it pink fizz you've got there? I think it is. Looking at the bottle there. Here it is, everybody. What a lovely tradition to maintain and repeat every year. Here's Paul on an Algarvian beach, enjoying the annual pop of the cork there. That's if I can actually. Oh yeah, here he is. Coming onto your screen in just a moment. Which particular fizz is this? Fizz doing the biz there for Paul and Susan. Then in the Algarve, is that a was it Morgano? Is it called there? Well done. Cheers, Sode, to you, Paul. And I hope it's okay to have shared that picture. By the way, immortalized. Clip that out, StreamYard, rather than clip that in, maybe, if Paul's not happy about it. I think he'll be fine about it. What a lovely way to see the new year in and to celebrate Christmas. The wages in Portugal shouldn't go up, as Portugal is not Luxembourg. I see what you did there. A little bit of political satire. Very good. Yes, the last Monday of 2025, it's sunny in the Algarve, says Paul. And part one of two, serious little book from 2022, Campadrio states that in total contrast to the Netherlands, none of the big corporations were advertising any jobs pretty much. It's a closed system. Oh, Adrian. No problem. That was 2024. Oh, okay. So it wasn't even this year. But I think you did do the same thing this year. And as I say, what a wonderful little tradition that is. And many people I know, alongside their 12 raisins or grapes, will be popping a cork in 2 days' time. Just 2 days to go now until we get to New Year's Eve and the impending 2026 that's breathing down the back of our necks at the moment. Have a great day. Thank you for being here this morning. That's pretty much an hour. Nearly. I was late starting. We're late finishing. Oh, we've got two here. Part 2 of 2. Literal translation corroborates this on tourist signs. All they have to do is employ a native English speaker, but that wouldn't be part of their circle of friends. Adrian, what are you talking about there? And maybe we can pick up that thread tomorrow. But have a great day, Adrian, and all of you Gumpers. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again for tomorrow morning. Maybe talk more of your plans for 2026, your hopes and your dreams, and see if you can find me a few other nationalities. But certainly for the next year, if not by tomorrow morning. Take care. Bye for now. Have a great day. Here's a round of applause for you all. Ciao, ciao.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of of fun facts you